voices in my head, they count for me, they understand, they talk for me. Welcome to this pre-Thanksgiving edition of the Great Wrestling Debate right here on YouTube. And today it's a three-man panel, I guess if you want to call it.
A three-man band?
Yeah, because back from break from Kutztown, so we're welcoming him back today.
Yes, yes, from our SummerSlam prediction.
Right. And so yeah, we got a three-man panel here today. So and a pretty good time for it too, to talk about the main issue. I guess coming out of Survivor Series now. Of course, unsurprisingly, John Cena retained.
Yes.
Orton retained.
Yes.
And well,
Roman Reigns was made a
apparently,
star.
Yeah, apparently that was the only positive that came out of this pay-per-view. Was that Roman Reigns
was a star?
Good. Yeah.
Was a star.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, most people did not review this pay-per-view very well, so it's not very surprising.
Yeah, considering the fact that it was Big Show, Orton headlining, I don't know where somebody thought this would equal
and then
ratings.
And then everybody knew that Orton was going to retain, but obviously the big thing is the on Raw, the match that was made for TLC.
Yep.
Only just minutes into the show.
Yes. Yep. Although it was teased at the end of Survivor Series.
Right. Yeah. Which obviously, was Cena coming out, and and then everybody knew, okay, we could see where this is going.
Well, I knew where it was going. I just didn't know when they were going to announce it.
Yeah, and when it was actually going to be, and it's actually going to be at TLC,
which ironically is the last pay-per-view. I mean, the last month, because it was Vengeance in 2001 in December when they did the Undisputed tournament.
Everybody's saying like, oh, it's like almost the to the day of when Chris Jericho won.
Yeah, it looks like somebody else is going to be carrying two titles around at once.
Yeah.
You just won't have the same prestige as Jericho, who beat The Rock and Stone Cold
the same night.
Yeah. Now, there's been a lot of negative feedback, obviously, to this. What are you guys' thoughts
on? I saw it coming. In fact, we talked about this I think a couple weeks ago, that this was talked about internally.
Right. Yeah.
I did not want to see Cena Orton at Mania. I said they were going to do this at Mania, make it a tournament like they did at Vengeance, because that way you had it made it feel like two young guys in there. Which
I've seen other people suggest that too. So,
but I mean, if it's TLC, I don't think anybody was going to watch it. I think I don't know how many people are going to watch it more because of this. Because I don't know how many people actually want to see Orton hold two belts, Cena hold two belts. I don't know.
Who would want to see them fight again? We've already seen them go through rival after
rival.
But
if they're going to have this match, I'm fine with it being at a B pay-per-view at TLC than at WrestleMania. Yeah.
And last year, TLC was a pretty good pay-per-view.
Yeah, it usually is.
Mainly a lot to do with the Shield and,
and it usually has shocked in the past.
Yeah.
Even though, like I said, it's usually between Survivor Series, which at one point was a major pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and the Royal Rumble, which is usually, I'd say the second biggest pay-per-view easily. Or maybe third, because SummerSlam's been making a lot of
in the
progress.
build-up to WrestleMania.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the concept, I think, obviously, of unifying the titles and having one belt, I think is, a good idea.
I think it makes sense, because I think, once again, you talked about this,
Yeah.
how after Del Rio, who does Cena go after that? Like, who's his next challenger?
Not to mention, they almost all have one brand. Their main brand is Raw. SmackDown's just basically, here, you get to see some Raw guys again on SmackDown. It's nothing new.
And you got Main Event, of course, and then Superstars, which doesn't air on TV anymore.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously the idea, we weren't, nobody, I don't really think anybody's criticizing the idea.
No, I think it needed to happen eventually.
Yeah. But what people are criticizing is the fact that it's Cena and Orton.
Yeah, not any young guys. It's a bunch of old guys.
Yeah.
I'd say, like I said earlier, the two established guys for like the past 10 years in the company. It's Orton and Cena, because these two guys were always, I think, always the most pushed in the last 10 years in that.
Yeah.
And like I said, the whole storyline seems to be winner becomes, I guess, the face of the company. Because I feel like that's what the debate is. You got the corporate handpicked champion Randy Orton against the I guess people's champion John Cena.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, no.
How much?
No. We already had one champ. We already had one people's champ.
How much of people's champion he's been since he's been getting mixed reactions a lot? I don't know. Usually people means the people Universally behind this guy. And
I'm sorry. I think
Little.
we're gonna call
How about
kids.
this?
Kids champion?
The little people's champion.
Little people's champion.
Because
I don't
no,
know.
that's kind of a
if
joke. I know there's
the roll-offs would accept that. That might be some copyright infringement there.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of this, I mean, the funny thing is that like right now it seems to be like a bit of a rift between Orton and the administration or whatever. I mean, I guess maybe not.
I think it's a fake rift. I think it's like almost Survivor Series.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, this is their guy they want.
Yeah. Because it seems lately they haven't been as big of a part of the show either. Ever since like the Daniel Bryan thing kind of died down.
Yeah.
It seems like it's
although yes, Chance broke down
now,
again.
Yeah.
I mean, which is just
and now Big Show's like out of the picture, and so there's
Bryan got kidnapped.
yeah. So
I mean, got beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, like I said earlier, if I got to pick right now, I think it's Orton winning both.
TLC.
He's the top heel, and usually, especially with the Royal Rumble coming up, usually if you want a face to win, at this point, I'm going with CM Punk as the favorite.
Yeah.
The fact that he's been chewing out the authority now almost makes you think that him and Orton are heading towards a match at WrestleMania.
That would be pretty good, especially to main event. CM Punk, for all intents and purposes, he hasn't
main
closed.
Event. No.
Yeah, closed or main event.
And he said this in constant interviews. I mean, he said he always asks, how does it feel to be a main event? He says, I'm not a main event.
Yeah.
I never have been a main event at WrestleMania. I've been the third to last and the second to last, which is not the main event. They're good spots, but my dream is to close a Mania.
Yeah.
And looking at the current card being set up, I don't know how Orton, who I guess now is the super champion at this stage, against Punk doesn't close the show. I mean, like I said, the only match I think would do it, would maybe close ahead, which I don't want to see, is Triple H against some random wrestler for the control of the company. And I just don't want to see it because Triple H has a bad track record of closing Manias.
Yeah.
Not to mention who would even win that match.
At least, yeah. And at least, in recent years, I mean, he's had big matches at WrestleMania, but he hasn't closed.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, if you look back at the past few WrestleManias, Cena Rock 2, Cena Miz, which
with the Rock deciding the ending. So
yeah, so
3 straight years, the Rock being featured in the main events to the degree.
Yeah, and this year he probably won't be. And, and 3 years of Cena being in. So yeah, it definitely is time to get somebody new in there.
It's been more than 3 years of Cena.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Well, 26 it was Taker, Shawn Michaels. 25.
Yeah, but that's because it was Taker and Shawn Michaels. You're not going to outshoot those two.
And 25 it was Triple H Orton. Probably should have been Taker, Shawn Michaels again.
Probably every year it probably should have been Taker versus whoever because
those
have been the best matches. Pretty
24 it was Edge against Taker and 23
that was hands down one of the greatest matches. Right
and then 23 it was Michaels Cena that closed it.
Yeah.
22 was Cena Triple H. And then 21 it was Batista Triple H.
But it probably would have been Cena JBL if Triple H wasn't holding the title.
And then 20 was Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and some superstar who we can't mention on television anymore.
Yeah. Now there's been people have had their ideas about TLC, their speculations. One of them was that who's going to walk out, the champion or the undisputed or whatever, and I remember one person I was reading said Triple H is going to come out and screw them both and be the champion. Somebody, this one I don't think is likely, obviously, but somebody speculated that Cena was going to walk out champion, and then this would set up for Rock versus Cena 3 at WrestleMania. That's not likely.
The only ones that have been able to do a 3-time feud successfully is Rock and Stone Cold, but that's because those two are icons.
Yeah, but those two would even but each
and there's a little more space.
And they were different. They were different matches.
Well, yeah. The first one was 15.
Yeah.
The second one was 17. Those are the main events. 19 was the second to last match on the card. Yeah. Because after that it was Lesnar Angle then.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was 3 straight years. It was like one
separate
break and then granted the break happened in 16 because Austin was hurt. 18 was the whole
Hogan
Rock and the Scott Hall Austin match nobody wants to talk about. The one where Austin stuns Hall and Hall goes like, I don't know, 10 feet in the ring like he goes airborne after the stunner.
Wow. I mean, on top of that though, you have to look at it. as those guys also made sure each of their matches were separate. I've seen 28 and 29. There is some difference between John Cena and The Rock, but there isn't a lot. It's almost the same stuff over and over.
Well, 28, John Cena, I don't want to say he was a heel, but he had a lot of cockiness to him in that match. Like, even the ending was him pretty much saying, "Oh, I'm going to do the finisher." And,
I'm going to steal his...
And that in 29, he's a little bit more, like, calm. He realizes this is a serious match. He can't screw it up. This is his last opportunity to finally beat this guy, probably. So, I mean, the storytelling, the first one was pretty much, look, Rock's playing this veteran who hasn't been in the ring in years, and Cena's playing this cocky guy who's been the top dog for so many years. And thinks he's going to defeat this, has-been guy so easily. And the second one, Cena's actually like, okay, this guy's not a has-been. He's still a legitimate star in that, and he's the champion this time. And, I got to beat him, but I can't make the same mistake I made last year. And actually, most of the matches, like how he even does the finisher again, but instead this time, instead of going right into the rock bottom, he stops the rope, and then he goes, like, I'm thinking this time. Because I know you're going to stand up and try to counter it. So, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think a lot of fans got into the 29 match because I think they all knew in the end Cena was going to win, and it's tough to get
to me. That deterred me.
Not to mention it was a once in a lifetime part 2.
Right? Yeah. That and of course.
That's why they shouldn't have said once in a lifetime at number 28. They shouldn't have said once in a lifetime. I mean, the only thing that's so far held true is Survivor Series when The Rock and Cena teamed up. It was never before, never again. They haven't done it again. They kept that true. It was like, why couldn't you make sure that if you're going to say once in a lifetime, make it a once in a lifetime thing?
But even those buys weren't great. But I blame that on the whole R-Truth Miz tag team. I don't think anybody actually thought those two were going to beat The Rock and Cena.
Right? Yeah.
And like I said, as soon as you know the results of a match, it's tough to actually say, okay, $50 might be worth buying this thing.
However, they were a good, entertaining tag team.
What's I'm saying?
Heck, they came out to a "You Suck" rap. In the words of Booker T, they had one heck of a rap career if they didn't make it in wrestling.
And of course, another difference between the 28 and 29 Cena matches was that maybe the last 5 minutes of the 29 match was, them basically, trying to do their finisher on each other, and, countering.
Counter.
Well, if you mean actual how the pay-per-view
closed. Attempt.
The actual pay-per-view closed with like Cena like sitting miserable on stage and Rock just like celebrating in that. And 29, it's like Cena. It's like
the passing of the torch.
Well, passing of the torch there, but fans were not happy.
Exactly.
You could clearly hear
everybody knew. Yeah, everybody knew.
And then he was trying to cover it up the best they could, but like saying like having the Rock stay in the center of the ring, which just made me think like, okay, it's the Rock retiring because there's no point having him stay in the center of the ring except for Cena to try to save some kind of face out here.
Yeah.
But that I remember when Rock like held up Cena's hand, the fans you just could hear the boos.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like the reason why I think there were some people like terrified of this closing the event because how does it feel when your Super Bowl closes and fans are booing? I mean that's not.
And it was funny because I remember like Jerry Lawler or something was like playing up like when they were coming out like. Oh, this crowd is like 50 Cena, 50 Rock. Like, no, it's more like 90 Rock, 10 Cena. If you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, and
I was actually at Hooters for WrestleMania 28, and that was interesting 28. To be at, because it was literally there was people who were saying, "Let's go Cena, Cena suck," and it went back and forth. But the most entertaining thing is there was this one kid there who was a huge Cena fan, but most of us were. Rock fans for my group that was there. We were so annoyed. This guy was flipping out the whole time during the match saying, like, Cena, you should break that old man in half. I'm like, you do realize this is fake, kid?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I guess they don't.
On top of that, I'm like, come on. It's going to be The Rock in Miami. You think they're going to let Cena win?
Did the kid then tell you to go, wrestling's not fake!
No, we didn't flip out on him like that. My one friend, though, did decide to go and start yelling at him, Rocky, like, Rocky rules, Cena sucks.
Oh, my God.
That kid was not happy.
That just made me think of, like, Ready to Rumble. That horrible wrestling. Do you have that movie, Ready to Rumble?
I don't have Ready to Rumble.
No, it's a horrible movie there, but it's so good. It's like a cult classic because it's so bad. But there's a line when, like, David Arquette goes, wrestling's not fake!
But, I mean, like I said, that was a different time, but there was no way that crowd at 29 was 50-50 split. No way.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry to say it. It's like, Cena, your fans are girls and little kids.
Yeah.
We're not.
He'd be a perfect, pedophile
sorry.
He'd be a perfect
three-man
pedophile and I'm trying to think of the rapist. He'd be perfect one set up for that because he has the girls and he has the kids.
No, but I mean, damn it, Corey, lost my train of thought.
Stuck in that thought there, huh? Cena's a pedophile. That would be an interesting news line.
Tyler, keep going. I just thought something I was going to say.
Yeah, what I was
Corey's talking about rapist here, and then
what I was going to say was that with the whole fit, that's one of the things too that when people say like, oh, why do people hate on Cena or why do people constructively criticize Cena? It's like, because they want to pretend sometimes that, oh, it's a 50-50 crowd, and it's like, no, it's not. Why do you have to try to pretend that?
Because he's the face of the company.
I know, but that's the thing. And if they really cared about, Cena if they didn't really care about Cena not getting booed, why do they have to, pretend that?
I mean, on top of that,
because even if Cena doesn't care, Vince McMahon cares, and the company cares.
But I mean, still,
this is their poster child.
They seem insecure about it. If they,
what some people have to understand is most people don't hate the person, John
right?
Cena.
Exactly.
Most people are just hating this character because it's like, well, what is he? Because he still goes out there, does a salute, and points to the ring. It's like, but the Marine was like 50 years ago, and it wasn't that great of a movie. I'm like. And I was even telling Wayne this earlier today. His older salute was basically, it was a read between the lines, F you, because he went like this. He went dink, and then he went F you.
Yeah.
And then he finally changed it to just a straight salute. But I don't get it. Why are you doing it? I mean, I could understand, sure, if you want to do it, and there's like some veterans there, but it's like, sometimes there isn't veterans there. So what are you saluting at?
Yeah.
I'm saluting at my opponent, and then pointing at him. Yeah. What are you, Sergeant Slaughter?
Someone tells me when we go to the live event on probably January 25th, we can study the salute better, maybe.
Yeah. And even if you put like the with Cena, like the character issues and the typical 5 moves of doom aside, it's the way that people are booked too and around him, and here we are, after like a decade of Cena and Orton kind of being the main faces, here they still are. They're being the ones that are, supposed to unify the titles here. Yeah. They're the ones involved in the match. And
I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, like these titles have been around for like the last 10 years.
The only thing I can say that I'm glad about with Cena is he's no longer just getting pounced on and beat, and then somehow out of nowhere has massive strength and he pulls a Hulk, Hulk Hogan on you. I'm hawking up.
Well, that's the one thing I will say about Cena. He's not Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord.
He's put over a lot more young guys than Hogan's ever done in his career, which is pretty much zero. I mean, I should say the Ultimate Warrior might have been the closest thing that Hogan's ever done to put over young talent. But no, I mean, like, look, Cena put over Bryan at SummerSlam.
Yeah. But see, now I'm beginning to wonder because here now they have this unification match just shortly after Cena comes back. I'm starting to wonder here, now that Bryan's like not really doing anything.
He's probably going to come back corporate.
I'm wondering if like, oh, well, Cena's going to get hurt. Why don't we just have Bryan be the temporary champ, or whatever. Yeah. Have this feud with Orton.
Yeah.
And then eventually we're going to unify the titles and it's going to be Cena and Orton that do it.
Yeah.
That's starting to make me scratch my head. And the fact that, Orton basically won the feud over Daniel Bryan, which everybody. So I'm starting to wonder.
That feud died real fast.
Well, Tyler, we talked about how the buy rates weren't good of pay-per-view. Right. The ratings were. I mean, even with Cena back, they haven't exactly joked up either. They stayed pretty constant. Yeah. I'd say because it's Monday Night Football. I don't see them beating Monday Night Football. And even getting numbers back.
It's also not a new product. You bring back an old guy. It's like, well, that's great. But it's like, that doesn't change the product.
Right.
You're just having another talent that the little kiddies there can watch and love again. But it's like, but what's new? What's happening? I was telling Wayne this also. The one thing I haven't seen is special matches. Like, even at a simple Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, they used to do awesome matches. I remember way back when they did the 4th ever TLC match, tag team TLC match on SmackDown.
Yeah.
They did it on just a simple show, and that had to have boost ratings because it's a TLC match.
Yeah.
I mean, why aren't we having special matches? Why are we having these lame, simple matches? I'm like, don't get me wrong, that should be the bulk of it. But your main event, why can't you now and again throw in, here, I'm throwing a little twist for you. It's gonna versus this guy, but it's Falls Count Anywhere.
Yeah. And not only that, it's like in this time while like Cena was gone, you know, they might not have handled Daniel Bryan the best, having him get beat up and there's been guys that I think regressed during this time. There's been nobody new that really,
except maybe Cody Rhodes. I mean, that's the only
maybe
guy I can think of.
But I mean, they're tag team champions now. But then, you know, then they get beat by the Shield this past week on Raw.
Or more specifically, Roman Reigns, pretty much.
Yeah.
He was pretty much a one-man wrecking crew in the match.
I mean,
Survivor Series, they got destroyed.
By one guy, Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, after Cena was gone, I mean, like, nobody new got built up. I mean, basically, you know, Dolph Ziggler, you know, regressed. Ryback pretty much regressed more.
I'm fine with that one.
CM Punk kind of just, you know, just kind of got boring there, you know. He hasn't really been doing anything major. I mean,
he's been calling out the Authority now, which makes me think that he's going to be the next guy in line eventually.
I mean, Punk is, to me though, he's still entertaining on the mic. I have no problem switching on and watching Punk, but it's the fact that he doesn't have much. He doesn't have many opponents to go with. Yeah. I mean, he was fine as a heel because of the fact that you can be a heel for anybody, but with a face, it is a little tougher. I mean, it's like, who they got for heels? They got Orton. And
maybe they'll bring Sheamus back as a heel. That's been a suggestion.
That's been
he's got to first come back.
He might, which should be soon.
Well, Tyler, one of the things that I talked about Corey earlier was that, you know, the quarter report came out. It was their annual stock meeting.
Yeah.
And they got asked, Vince got asked personally by a stockholder. I mean, you can watch them like WWE corporates like citing that, because I do watch them once in a while, because this is the actual business side. This is where you're actually going to learn the business end of where this company's going. And he got asked, Vince, the pay-per-view buy rates aren't doing good, the ratings aren't good. And he says, well, how can you describe it? And Vince pretty much said, small talent doesn't. He didn't say it directly, but he almost said look, small talent doesn't equal ratings. And he pretty much said, look, we pushed Punk and Bryan to the moon, and ratings did go up. They actually went down. So he almost said we need bigger talent. And he almost emphasized the big term. And finally, after he said those comments, Great Khali's been featured more now on Raw. Oh, so, I mean, a Big Show was in the main event at Survivor Series. Yeah. I mean, and Mark Henry came back also. I mean, so when he means bigger, he means we need big guys again.
Physically, yeah.
Now, is that going to mean the ratings going to go up or buy rates? I don't think so, because I think there's more to the product. Because I think there's more of the product than just size in that. Yeah. But I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, even the SummerSlam, which was everybody here thought was a success, featured Bryan and Punk and big match against Lesnar and Cena now. Yeah. But that SummerSlam buy rate did lower than the one where it was Lesnar Triple H in the main event.
Yeah.
And had Big Show, Punk, and Cena, and how even Del Rio faced Sheamus in a World of Title match. So even the big star, quote unquote big stars, bought more than the small guys did. So I mean, you can kind of see why they think that way. I don't think that's the problem with the product.
Yeah, I mean,
it's probably the fact it also hasn't changed. So you're having people pull away, really wondering, why am I paying money for something that doesn't look like it's drawing something
and
new?
Like I said earlier, the problem was, like I said, the whole belief of Cena now is that if Cena's off, Cena fans will stop watching the product. Why the wrestling fans that they would just pull out because one of their favorite guys is not on TV anymore because he got hurt? I don't understand. But I remember there was that one time he feuded with Del Rio, and they just put the strap right on Cena for no apparent reason for 2 weeks. And then he lost it to Del Rio. And that was supposed to be done just to, quote unquote, joke the ratings up. And it didn't joke up because that was the reason why the ratings were going down.
Yeah.
It wasn't that Cena was not a champion. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the company's thinking at this moment here. But I do know that's what the going in now is a bigger's better, Tyler. I guess is the best way to look
we're going
at
back to that. You mean back to where we have a Ryback who can't wrestle that well? I haven't liked him on the mic. The Great Khali isn't even good on the mic. I mean, Mark Henry was only good at that one point in time because it was the way they did the character. It wasn't per se he was a big guy. It was just how he did the character. You put a big guy, and Mark Henry has at least a better. He can actually speak, and actually can cut a pretty good promo. It's also how he did the character. He did this character who's going to go and just kick rear end left and right and have this Hall of Pain. And it's like, well, that's why that big guy worked. You put the Great Khali. I'm sorry, he's the Punjabi playboy, and other than the fact he has some pretty bad knees, and he was on the movie The Longest Yard. It's like, I'm sorry.
And Get Smart. He was on the Get Smart.
Yeah, that's too. Yeah.
He doesn't have the it factor. He doesn't have what it needs to draw in crowds. Yeah. Nobody's going to want to see the big guy go down there. Actually, I even remember it was the Hall of Fame in 2012. I heard chants during the Hall of Fame. Don't ask me why they did it, but there were some fans that were chanting, "Khali sucks." I'm pretty sure they said Khali sucks, because I don't know who else they'd be chanting that made sense. But the Khali wasn't even anywhere on the screen, and they were shouting, "Khali sucks." I'm like, why? Yeah. And then I started to realize, I'm like, I guess people really just don't like this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing about the whole pushing bigger guys, I mean, think about it. The guy on the Shield that stole the show was
Roman
the biggest
Reigns.
guy on the Shield. Yeah. Now, I'm fine with Roman Reigns because I think this guy actually is the total package when you look at him. He is the big guy that they like, but he also has an athletic ability to him that doesn't make him a great Khali or a Mark Henry or
But any member of the Shield, they could do fine on their own.
But I'm just saying, I always thought that Dean Ambrose as the main star of that group because I just think he has more of a total package as far as mic skills.
Roman Reigns has one last thing that overshoots Dean Ambrose.
Size.
It's actually the fact that he's part of the Samoan family. He's part of the Anoa'i family. He's part of the Rock's family.
Yeah, I know the Rock's cousin, but I think
that right there. There's how many successful wrestlers that have come out of that family.
Yeah, Corey.
Vince is probably thinking.
Corey, but if we're going based on that, then by definition, Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase Jr. Yeah. I mean, Richie Steamboat should have been on the main roster at this point. I don't think family lineage.
In the Samoan family.
No, but I'm saying family lineage doesn't mean crap. I think when it comes down
to
it,
but it has a little bit of a pool.
At least maybe in like the higher powers, maybe like this guy was.
I think it puts more pressure on the guy because if he doesn't deliver, he gets cut probably faster than anybody. Because what Ted DiBiase Jr. didn't last that long. Yeah. When he started not delivering, they cut him. They didn't care if he was the $1 Million Man's son. Yeah. If he wasn't the $1 Million Man, so he wasn't worth their time. I mean, how Harry Smith ring about anybody? I mean, the son of the British Bulldog, he just didn't have what we're looking for. Yeah. But no, I think it came down to size pretty much. Roman Reigns is clearly the biggest guy out of Seth Rollins, a.k.a. Tyler Black, or Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
So that pretty much to me shows you like what the company's that they are thinking bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, how Mark Henry and Ryback were in a match in Survivor Series. Two massive guys in a ring together.
Oh yeah, get to see a rematch from WrestleMania 29.
Yeah, except Mark Henry just kicked the hell out of Ryback in this one.
Yeah, I saw WrestleMania 29. That was almost what happened there too. It was.
Yeah.
Ryback was like this, boom, and Henry was like, "I don't feel it." Yeah. Boom, I don't feel it. Boom, I don't feel it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, as far as big guys go, even Roman Reigns obviously, it seems like they're building him up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's at least not a big guy. He's a big guy, but not the big giant.
He's like Triple H's size. He's like 6'4" and he's like 260 something. Yeah. So that's good. He's got long hair, beard, but it's like different color, obviously.
I mean, I still think every member of the Shield is going to be at least the world champion once in their life.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Or I guess undisputed WWE champion, if that's where they're going with this.
Well, that's the thing there too. I mean, just go back to the belt here thing. I would be surprised because they brought it's a unification match, quote unquote, but it's like they said, okay, you win, you get one massive belt. Then it's like you still get both. So I'm curious if they're even going to deactivate one of the belts or not, or if maybe Cena might say, no, I'm challenging for the World Heavyweight title one. Not that anyone, just the one heavyweight title. I think that's stupid, because why the hell would you just challenge for one world title when you can win both in one match against one guy?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Right.
So I really do think that there will just be, I don't want to say one belt, but there will just be one championship left. Yeah. Whether it's just Orton going back to the whole Chris Jericho thing back in the day where he held on to both belts anyway, because it was not one belt yet. No, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course another big guy. Well, at least big weight wise, height wise for
Yeah.
Biggie Langston. Yeah, Intercontinental Champion right now. You know, he could have a decent
He
reign.
just destroyed Curtis Axel at
Yeah.
pay per view.
But
So.
definitely in 2014, that's someone that they could build up maybe to main event.
Funny
level.
how when him and Mark Henry walked down there, how close they looked size wise.
Yeah,
it was like scary.
right. And Mark Henry's not particularly tall, but
or fast.
You know,
I mean, Biggie Langston has some speed to him.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But once again, keyword big.
Yeah, and see how he can do on the mic. You know, I think he's all right. I mean, with what we got so far, I mean, he hasn't had any major promos to do. You know, so
hopefully he's better than Ryback.
Yeah, and Cena's endorsed this guy, so
that's what I'm saying.
Obviously,
and once you get that, you're good. You're good.
Workout partners, kind of like Sheamus and Triple H.
Exactly.
They were workout partners.
They were workout buddies.
And you know that was. But
Triple H's excuse was that wasn't it. It was that Sheamus showed up at every show, even though he didn't have to show up at every show.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I still go with the whole idea that they were workout buddies, and once your friends
helps.
I mean, let's face it, politics matters in wrestling
obviously,
now.
Yeah.
In the words of Batista, you could be the most popular guy in the back. It doesn't matter if you don't know the right guys, aka the right management guys. You're not going anywhere in the company.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to bring up another idea that somebody had for this TLC match. Is that what if Orton and Cena both grab the opposite title,
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
Or the titles that they held before, and then what if this leads to at WrestleMania a unification match?
Oh, I won't watch that match then.
But that's the thing there too.
But
I don't think the company's goal should be let's piss off the buyers of the pay-per-view again. Because we also happened at Battleground and Night of Champions when they did screwy finishes.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people saying we want a refund because this wasn't what we paid for. We didn't pay for a screwy finish.
Yeah.
Especially in back-to-back pay-per-views. We want a straight finish.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's a TLC match. That usually doesn't have that good of a screwy finish.
No, I don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It'd be odd if they both grabbed but then you got the whole Royal Rumble winner thrown in there. What if CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble and then
that's what I'm saying.
Then you have a triple threat at WrestleMania.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think that this is gonna Orton's gonna win, and that's it. This one world champion. I personally would go, why stop there? Why not just have Ambrose face Biggie Langston at TLC and combine the Intercontinental US title? Because let's face it, you just admitted that the world title was pretty pointless. Then why not just admit that the two mid-card titles are pretty pointless too? Now that being said, they're combining the belts because there's not a vast number of main event guys anymore. At least in their eyes, there's not a main event guys.
Right.
The only thing I can do to justify two mid-card titles is that there are plenty of mid-card guys on the company still. Yeah. So you still got plenty of challengers for Biggie Langston and Ambrose as far as the mid-card level goes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't. If Ambrose is hardly defended his title. In fact, I think at this point, Langston's defended more than Ambrose has.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Focus is more on the Intercontinental.
Yeah. So at that point, and like I said, if Ambrose would face Langston, advantage Langston, because once again, he's the big guy.
Yeah. I agree. And plus, this would kind of move Ambrose more into the direction that, down the road, we're going to split these guys up and hopefully they can go up to the main event level.
I still think with the whole idea that it looks like the Wyatt family and the Shield working together, maybe via the authorities, via the authority telling them what to do. I still think that's it. These two are going to face each other at WrestleMania, and that's when the Shield splits up.
Well, if they do not do that match at WrestleMania, honestly, how could you not? Because you had that a couple nights ago on Raw, the
crowd went insane.
You had them go insane, and then they stopped it, and it's like, why?
Well, they've been teasing. I mean, even when they did that massive 12-man tag, there was this argument on the sideline between the Wyatts and the Shield, and there were fans just going crazy, that's right, that's right, you guys hit each other. We want to see these guys go at each other. I
mean, that would be a match that would be built as a small match at Mania, but I think it'd be one of those that would steal the show.
I think
it'd be like the Ricky Dragon Steamboat versus was it Randy Savage?
Yes.
Savage.
I wouldn't go that far, Corey.
Well, no, I'm just saying it would be like that in the sense that it would steal the show. I wouldn't say it would steal the whole show, but it would steal the show. I'm not saying they're on the same level as Randy Savage and Ricky.
I go more Junkyard Dog versus Harley Race at WrestleMania 3.
Well then go for that. I don't know.
No, I'm just.
Does it look like I sit down and watch WrestleMania 3?
No, but that's not going to be the second. Randy Savage and Steamboat with the second biggest match in that card, and the Shield and Wyatt is not going to be the second biggest match on the card.
Well, that all depends on what they throw at us as matches.
If anything, it'd probably be either Taker. The top 3 matches at this point seem to be Taker, Lesnar. Triple H gets somebody. I don't know who at this point.
Yeah, but that match might not even be.
And then probably CM Punk gets Randy Orton for the undisputed, whatever the hell they're calling this new. There even has one new title belt. Like I said, it could just be the Chris Jericho route where it's Orton holding both belts because that just looks cooler, I guess.
Maybe, yeah.
I personally think that was stupid. Well, I think the only reason why Jericho held both belts originally was because there was no undisputed title. Although it's funny when Triple H beat Chris Jericho that all of a sudden the undisputed championship magically appeared on television one day. So some people say that's because Triple H only could hold the main world title belt. So Jericho just had to hang on to both these two title belts and say he's the undisputed champion. When really in reality it was Triple H who had to be the true undisputed champion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. Yeah. But no, I think it's. I'm not seeing that. I mean, I'm not going to buy the pay-per-view TLC because, like I said, it's only for me. It's only Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, or WrestleMania. Because at this point, I think those are the only 3 pay-per-views that actually shows effort into wanting me to pay money to watch it. Yeah. So I mean, for me, I don't like it, but I'd rather it be at TLC than at WrestleMania. Yeah. Because I would rather see a Punk Orton match at WrestleMania. Hopefully closing the show, because I really don't know what other match you could justify closing the show. Yeah. Yeah, since now it looks like, because at this point it doesn't look like Bryan's going to be there anytime. No. I think Daniel Bryan is going to, I think Bryan Danielson. Down the road, maybe. No, I think he will be at WrestleMania. I don't know what
at WrestleMania, but I mean.
I don't know what capacity he'll be at Mania.
But I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, not in the main event, like everybody thought.
Like I said, my 2 options for Triple H's opponent for this Control Derby is either going to be Daniel Bryan, because this is the only way they could save his characters if he embarrassed Triple H at WrestleMania by, the B+ guy beating the A+ guy, or whatever. Hell, have Cena face and have the company guy, because it's Vince McMahon picking, pretty much picking his poison, I guess, if that's the gimmick they're going with. Yeah,
I wouldn't want to see Triple H versus John Cena.
I mean, that's another one we.
But at the same time, there I could see story. But again, storyline wise, they'll just say, "Look, this is for control of the company here. I'm going with my horse, which is Cena." Yeah. Although somebody said, "Look, it could be." They could do a whole angle where he wants Cena, and then Cena says, "No, pick Daniel Bryan." And Vince has put his faith in the company in this guy who he never trusted to begin with. Yeah. And people, I'm sure Daniel Bryan fans would love to see that happen because that would pretty much involve Vince McMahon kissing Daniel Bryan's ass on television. Instead of burying his ass on television.
Another reason why that would work out better is it's 2 different fighting styles. Daniel Bryan and Triple H are 2 different style wrestlers, whereas John Cena and Triple H are almost similar. And sometimes when you have 2 similar fighters together, it doesn't always work out as well.
Yeah, but to me, they never really had any bad matches, even at WrestleMania. 22 was easily Triple H. I mean, he closed that, but it wasn't like 25 or 18 where it was a terrible Triple H main event. Yeah. It actually was maybe his best main event he had in Mania.
And we haven't seen Daniel Bryan versus Triple H yet too. So I mean,
we don't know what's going to happen to him when he comes out of the Wyatt family. I mean, Kane got kidnapped, and next year he comes back, he's wearing a suit and everything,
which makes no sense at all.
So does Daniel Bryan come back and he shaves his beard or?
Oh goodness gracious!
I mean, all Bray Wyatt said was on SmackDown in a promo was that he entered a man, he'll come back a monster. Whatever that means, I don't know.
Maybe he'll come back looking like a goat.
He already looks like a goat. So I don't know how more of a monster you can make him look.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot of factors, obviously, that can affect what goes down. And yeah, I mean, Vince McMahon, we're still waiting on his comeback and
supposedly it was going to happen sooner than later. And I think Royal Rumble is probably the best chance of it happening soon.
Maybe.
Although the Slammy Awards are coming up in 2 weeks. That's usually when they start getting some gimmicks going.
Yeah. So do you have any, speaking of, do you have any early picks of, what you think, who's going to get what award?
Well, best match has to go to either Punk and Lesnar or Punk and Undertaker. Yeah. I don't know what other matches come anywhere close. It certainly ain't Rock and Cena again because no.
Yeah.
Though I do think that could, because I really do think the Slammies are fixed.
Yeah,
this feels like this is more of a fixed award. So I mean, because there's clearly some people who they pick some matches, and this is how it works.
Well, if they pick those 2, I will completely believe you that it's 100% fixed. But I'm hoping if it is fixed, they actually fix it to where crowds would like it, not where they would hate it.
Because Superstar of the Year, I could see it just going to Randy Orton just so he could come out at the end of the show, kind of like a heel promo saying,
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I should say no. Chris Jericho won it 1 year, but that was when it wasn't decided by fans. The Superstar Award year, and he actually said, like, "Well, thank God it's not. Thank God it's done with my peers and not you idiot hypocrites out there who don't like me." And so I'm not going to see it being Randy Orton just because.
Well, I mean, CM Punk already won one.
Well,
John Cena won.
John Cena's won a couple.
The thing was last year for 2012.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk held the WWE Championship the entire calendar year.
Yeah.
And yet Cena was the Superstar of the Year. When they were saying how he lost at WrestleMania and this and that and
he had all that. It was actually like his worst year ever.
But no, Superstar of the Year.
Well, but that's when he announced this whole. I think that's when he announced he was entering the Royal Rumble though.
Yeah, it was probably
because wasn't the Slammies after TLC that year maybe?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was like. Yeah, between that and Christmas.
Which I'm sure is going to be a fun of because we all know what last year's Christmas Raw was. It was Del Rio running over Santa Claus.
It was pretty terrible.
And Cena has to defend Santa Claus and apparently save Christmas from the evil Mexican that is at Del Rio.
Yeah. But as far as like Superstar of the Year this year, you could say it goes to Orton because he won the Money in the Bank briefcase and then of course he cashed in and
not to mention he's the corporate handbag champion.
Yeah. So it would make sense, like the corporate.
Although if not, I see Cena's second best if they're going popular voting here, I guess.
Yeah.
Tell me I did not just see that award. Probably going to go to Kofi Kingston for his hilarious stint at the Royal Rumble of hopping over to the announcer table, stealing JBL's chair, and then hopping it over.
He didn't steal it; he gave it to him.
Hopped it over. And then hopped in the ring for about 2 seconds, and then got thrown out.
Yeah. Did anybody catch JBL's Family Guy reference line to Michael Cole?
I don't know.
I kind of was kind of half paying attention, but as soon as I heard, I think he says something like, "I'm going to do to you what Family Guy did to that dog on the." Because if you remember, Brian Griffin just died recently on Family Guy on the newest episode there. So I don't know if that means JBL wants to kill Michael Cole or something. But that line I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
Nope, that to me is that.
I don't know what else.
Tell me I did not just see that.
I don't know. Gets Diva of the Year.
Wasn't it like the OMG moment of the year?
Yeah, it was the OMG.
It was the holy bleep.
Yeah, it was the holy shit moment of the year at the point. But you can't say shit on television.
Yeah.
Nope.
So.
Which was funny. That one time it was Ted DiBiase Sr. and Mick Foley who did that. I think it was like 2000. Was that 12 or 11?
Maybe. I don't know.
But they did that. No, it was.
I know.
It was 11.
I know that. Tell me, I didn't just see that it was Booker T, and it was because the Boogeyman came back. Marty White came back for a brief appearance.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
How old are you? I'm 21. No, you're not. Yes, I am. 21. It's like tough enough montage, because apparently he was like 40 or something.
Yeah.
And it's like no. It's like I'm 30. No, you're not. I'm 30. Since you're 40. Okay, I'm 40.
Yeah, as far as that award for this year, I don't know what. Maybe you could give it to when Mark Henry, faked his retirement and.
Definitely, yeah.
That was like his finest hour.
The Oscar caliber performance of Mark Henry.
Yeah.
It was.
Even though it led to just just like a temporary
feud.
Cena, where Cena was obviously going to win.
Yeah.
But
had to save him for Brian.
Yeah. The moment was great.
Oh,
it was pretty funny.
Yeah, but
other than that,
Diva of the Year probably a coin flip between Natalia and AJ. I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised because the Total Divas the one of the Bellas win.
Yeah,
I really feel like they're trying to push those guys.
They probably, I think they probably will.
I mean,
they'll probably start to.
I couldn't really care.
How about Rising Star of the Year? Because I do remember that they do have the Rising Star of the Year. I forget who won it last year.
Rising Star. I don't know if they always had that. I think last year they didn't.
No, I think they did. I forget who won though.
Well, whoever it is, I don't think they got many people to pick.
My pick, one of the members of the Shield.
That's what, and you know what, that'd be good. Like, what if they picked, Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
And then, like, between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, like this
jealousy.
Another rift between the Shield.
I already feel the whole idea of Dean Ambrose keeps saying, "Well, I'm the only guy who has his belt on this group anymore." Like that's already a rift right there.
Yeah, that too.
Because he's essentially saying, "Okay, I got a world title. I'm clearly the only guy who's still successful."
Yeah.
Obviously, Reigns, I thought he was going to like maybe get pissed off that he did all the work in that tag team match, and yet Ambrose took advantage and got the win.
Yeah.
But, he was happy with a win.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, it looks like if the Shield's moving despite having a losing streak for a while, they were going back on the winning track, and looks like Roman Reigns is carrying the group at this point.
Yeah.
Poor Seth Rollins. He's just he's the middle child of the group. Yeah. He's not big, and he doesn't have I think the heel charisma that Dean Ambrose has. Yeah. So he's the middle child, and we all know the middle child sucks in any relationship.
Yeah. And now I think finisher of the year too.
Ooh, yeah,
last year was the bro kick, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
this
whole
year,
18-second broke. Whoop! 18 seconds done and out.
So who would have the finisher of the year this year?
This year.
Has to be a new finisher.
I mean, I can't.
You know what? Finishers. He might not be on television in 2 weeks, but I think Bryan Danielson's.
The knee. Yeah, that's true.
That is new, and he's the main.
He brought that out at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was good. It was good to keep Sid down for 3.
Yeah,
which is pretty unheard of in these days.
Yeah.
So it is a pretty In fact, at one point, it was just being known as the move that beat John Cena.
Yeah.
Which I think should be his actual finisher. The move that beat John Cena. Because if you can come from a move that can beat John Cena, you're pretty impressive in my mind.
Yeah. And of course, now Orton's bringing back the punt.
Yeah.
Again, of course.
Apparently, we're doing a concussion angle with Big Show now.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, watching him try to tag in the wrong corner. I mean, my God.
Yeah. It's kind of like Triple H back in when he was facing
Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to that guy in the span of a
concussion
year?
angle. Yeah, another concussion angle.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Water. He's dumping water.
Oh, this isn't looking good.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Oh my God.
King. Whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. That'd be my pick. I don't know. I can't think of any new finisher that. Oh, maybe Roman Reigns spear.
That's. I mean,
it's not unique. It's been done so many times.
But the way he does
it is pretty good.
I was the other day I was in one of the computer labs. I was watching a video of different spears of Roman Reigns, and he's had some great spears.
It's more
a year.
I mean, it's more vicious than when Batista did a spear setting up something. And that's pretty strange since he's a bigger guy than Roman Reigns, but.
Reigns has explosiveness.
Oh my!
The spear wasn't his main thing for Batista.
Well, it's
like
even the Survivor Series, man. As soon as he pinned, he speared Goldust. He got right back up, and all of a sudden, right out of nowhere, just speared the hell out of Rey Mysterio and got the pin. And even the tag team, same thing. Speared Goldust. Ray tries to fight off, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, another spear.
Yeah. And
there were fans starting to cheer the guy because they're like, my God, this guy's just destroying everybody.
In the span of 24 hours earlier this week, he speared 6 people. He had 6 spears, I think.
I mean, he ties the record for
Survivor. Blasted phone.
Yeah, blasted phone. I mean, he ties the record for Survivor Series. I don't know why they just didn't have him break the record, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, why did Seth Rollins have to have that one elimination? Why? Because why not just have him? If he's going to dominate that much, why not just have him break the record and eliminate everybody?
Yeah.
I wasn't even having the point of having Seth Rollins. Just have him beat everybody 5-on-1.
Yeah.
What a better just to tell this guy's a legitimate threat now than say, oh, he beat an entire team by himself.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
Yeah.
I guess even Triple H needed help. Remember the whole Jeff Hardy Triple H?
Yeah.
He beat all of Umaga's team. Just the 2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, going back to the Shield and the Wyatts, you suggested that'd be a good WrestleMania match. What if they did built that up at Royal Rumble, and then down the road, then the 3 members of the Shield faced off against each other?
That triple threat. Yeah, I brought that up too.
Kind of like they do it
big pay-per-views. They could have big matches there.
Well, I mean, hell, that's what they did with Legacy.
I mean, they could do the Wyatt family and the Shield. I'm assuming you're talking about in the actual Rumble match.
Or even just even if they just had a tag match.
I mean, if they
because they'll have to have other matches on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it depends where they go. Though.
Granted, that depends. They might also do the Royal Rumble like they did last year, where
anybody
can come
do that.
in.
Yeah. And then they can still have a match. And
But no, I mean, as long as it's better than 2011 when the Nexus and the Core were supposed to go at it, and that never worked out.
Yeah.
That failed.
Well, they teased it at the beginning. It was Hulk came out, and all of a sudden he came all 5 members of the Core. They came all 5 members, and all of a sudden it was an all-out brawl then.
Yeah.
And I don't know if fans got joked for joy or like they did for the Wyatt and the Shield when they got into it. But I mean, it looked like they were going somewhere, and instead we got a throwaway Core versus what was it? The team of Big Show, Kane, Santino Marella of all people, and Kofi Kingston, who was subbing in for Vladimir Kozlov.
Which the funny thing about that match is the fact that they had announced before Mania that Kofi was coming in for Vladimir Kozlov. And I swear somebody must have not told Michael Cole, because Michael Cole sat there and he read, after Santino, Big Show, and Kane are in there, yeah, Vladimir Kozlov's out. I wonder who's going to replace him. Well, you idiot. They just posted it like a couple hours ago.
On WWE.com, yeah. I do remember that, yeah, WWE.com. How they even showed on their official YouTube page Kozlov getting taken off at Fan Access by the core. Like, he actually got, like did the injury angle of him and everything. But no, I think the match lasted, a minute?
Yeah, about maybe, I think, 2 minutes.
It wasn't a long match.
No, it was 5 minutes long, but that included like a 3-minute going through all the entrances.
That's what I'm saying. I don't count entrances, so it's like a minute match. It's like a minute match.
Well, minute, 2 minutes, all depends.
I mean, and you won't know what happened to CM Punk's next is Mania. You had Orton literally go through the entire team and then just beat CM Punk, not at one pay-per-view, Tyler, not at 2, 3 straight pay-per-views. And of course, this is when the time Punk's contract was expiring, and he was pissed off, and he was just saying, after this, I'm taking my ball and leaving. And
he didn't even like the whole Nexus thing either. I mean, on his documentary, he doesn't mention that time frame. He mentions about being put on the Raw, but he had said, I don't want to go to Raw unless you guys actually have something for me.
Yeah.
And he said they didn't have nothing for me, so they didn't mention anything about Nexus.
Actually, I think he went from SmackDown to Raw just to fill up the Miz's Team Raw, because that was right before bragging rights when he moved.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's where he hurt himself, and that's where he did commentary for a little bit. But but I met the documentary. I think for him, I think as soon as they got rid of the Straight Edge Society, that was it for him, because he said, "This is ridiculous. I created this great gimmick that could have been a moneymaker for this company, and you guys just effed it up and got rid of everybody of the group pretty much." And Anthony Pooch said, "You know what? My contract's expiring in a year. I'm just going to wait it out for a year pretty much." Yeah. Then we all know what happened. They said, "Hey, you're going to give you the mic. You're going to go on for 6 minutes and complain your grievances to the world." The next, right in a bottle, the guy signs a contract, and now he's like a featured guy on Raw still. I mean, he's not the main event guy right now, but I think he's still featured, unlike other talent on the company still.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, one last thought coming off of now this possible unification with the major titles. What about if they bring back Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania?
Don't see it happening.
Don't see it happening?
No. Well, if they do, my only guess would be for the 10th anniversary at WrestleMania 31, because it is the 10th anniversary of the Money in the Bank. Yeah. You would think that'd be a good moneymaker.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be till WrestleMania 31.
I mean, honestly, Tyler, whether it's 1 or 2, I think they'd rather. I think they could sell more at a Money in Bank themed pay-per-view. Almost like Hell in a Cell, really. Yeah. They think they can sell more there. I mean, then again, WrestleMania, the whole goal is trying to get everybody some fit camera time. Yeah. I mean, except for the past 2 years because of all the part-time guys coming back. Yeah. But there used to be some massive multi-man match that they used to do either during the pre-show, before the actual event.
Or both.
Yeah, or both.
They did both.
Just so everybody got their bonus for Mania now.
But I mean, also the Money in the Bank thing took some of these mid-card guys, but it helped boost their cred with the fans because they did some crazy stuff. I mean, Shelton Benjamin
on a big stage,
just always went crazy. Just saying.
And I'm not saying they would have to get rid of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. If they wanted to, they could. I mean, this way you would have a Money in the Bank at one point in the year, and then down the road, well, a few months later, there'd be another one. So I mean, I don't know. It's an idea, but it could help with.
Well, the whole point originally, besides giving a guy a chance at getting a main event spot, was that this gave more mid carder guys a shot on the card then. Yeah. Because I think at one point it was at 26, it was a 10-man Money in the Bank. Yeah. I mean, the numbers started getting crazy because originally it was just 6. Yeah. And then it was
8. And then 8 for a while, and then
then 8. And then all of a sudden the 26 was 10 because apparently they need to get as many people on the roster as possible.
That was Jack Swagger's win. Oh boy.
Yeah. The one. Yeah. The one where I think he was holding on to the briefcase for almost a minute. Yeah. Well, supposedly he was very nervous because supposedly he didn't know until the day of the pay-per-view he was winning. It's a big moment for a guy, But so he's like, hang on here, and he's like, okay, don't screw this up, Jack. Don't screw this up. I mean, everybody's looking at you. Yeah. I mean, he finally got it down, but it's like it was the longest hold ever, and I think there's like some people like even crowd going, okay, he's not winning it clearly because he's hung on this thing forever. Clearly, somebody's effing up and supposed to be in here climbing the ladder. And when he finally got it off, it's like, oh, so Swagger was gonna win.
Yeah.
Did see it coming.
Yeah.
But no, my only guess would be possibly WrestleMania 31, just because it's the 10th anniversary. You would think, hey, 10th anniversary, we can totally just promote that like crazy, and that can help draw in some money.
Yeah.
I mean, and the other thing about a Money in the Bank match, it's a ladder match, so it's always you know, that usually hypes things up. I mean, it's a hazard, but
I mean, even that could help any WrestleMania, I think, because there's in recent years there's been matches that it seems like why do they even have on the card? Yeah, or like big tag team matches. Team Teddy versus
Team Johnny.
See,
the thing I hated about that was
that was what I said earlier. That was so mid card guys could get on the card.
I mean, honestly, all that was actually just a modified form of bragging rights. It's just it was no more bragging rights at that time.
Well, it wasn't even an elimination match, and I thought that match could have been better if it would have been an elimination match.
Yeah.
This whole one pinfall to a finish was when you have like 7 guys. I think you need to have an elimination match because I think you can't have 7 straight guys. Wrestling,
but they didn't even have enough time. Now, granted, they could have gotten rid of the your mama thingy by
Brodus Clay.
Clay. They could have cut that out and just used the tag match and give him more time. I didn't need to see him there call his mama.
Yeah, and have all these people dressed up in grandma mom outfits coming out.
Yeah. The one funny thing though was when he said that, and he said to the crowd, "Make sure to go up and call your mom." They panned to some guy. And I don't know if it was staged or anything, but this guy was literally on the phone. I don't know if he was actually talking to his mom or what, but I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, cool, they do that, because I remember, like, there was this one, like, remember that one time they had a live concert at SummerSlam? It was this one band, I forget who it was, they were performing, and you see, like, all these people, like, there's some people just, like, staying with their hands, like, they don't know, like, how to react at the moment. You see, like, they're just enjoying the hell out of this music here, maybe a bit too much. Those were Planet dancers in the stands. To try to get the other people to dance.
Right, yeah.
Because how bad does it look on camera when you hired this band and nobody gives two shits about them?
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I actually remember that, like when they had Florida Georgia line. Everybody they were showing was dancing.
Yeah.
Now, would they plan it? Maybe. It wouldn't put it past WWE to trick the audience into thinking that their fans actually give two shits about some random country band.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, that's my take on Money in the Bank. At the least, I would hope WrestleMania 31.
Yeah.
If they throw it at this WrestleMania, I just don't. I mean, Money in the Banks are long matches, and the problem is if you have too many big matches, you can't. Your Mania either A has to be longer. Now I don't even know if Vince has that in mind because he did that for WrestleMania 20. 20 was about a 6-hour a 6-hour Mania.
Yeah.
That was unheard of.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's going to do that for the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
But that would be my only guess. I mean, it'd be tough. You'd have to cut a lot of the other stuff and just do a couple big matches and, like, really, really puny short matches that are just going to be like, hey, there's a person. Oh, look, the match is over.
Well, 27 had that feel for me because there was a lot of short matches on that card.
Yeah.
It was only 8 matches, too. But there were a lot of, like, felt like rushed, cut short because we got to give Triple H and Undertaker time. And the main event has to get some time in there. I think it was like a 15-minute main event, too.
Yeah.
And with the whole double count-out, that screwed up a lot of things, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then the whole Rock, like, just throwing the laptop.
The anonymous Raw general manager checking in.
Of course, his hornswoggle, so really you could just check underneath the ring and found the little guy.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, they do 4-hour WrestleManias now, and maybe now if they unify the titles, that I mean, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, that would save a championship spot, you'd think.
But it'll depend. I mean, we'll see.
But even then, the world championship spots were never always that long. The past couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, Edge's was only 15 at 27, and then it was a 18-second one.
Yeah.
Followed by I don't know, maybe a 10-15.
Yeah, but you look back at it. That actually made Daniel Bryan get more over than he ever probably did.
Yeah.
As crazy as it sounds, I think he benefited more than Sheamus did on the 18-second thing.
Yeah. So
I think he got more over from that than Sheamus did, which is not usually what a company wants that to happen. But no, I mean,
Yeah, so
It's possible. It's just
depends.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's-
mean,
Depends-
like I said,
depends.
I don't see it happening. I
Depends which veterans come back and etc. What matches?
Like I said,
he
we
had
count the 10 one time. We got
there.
the 10. Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, Hulk Hogan.
I mean, it also
Maybe The
depends
Rock. Maybe Stone Cold
Yeah.
Steve Austin shows up. Of course, you got to have the big show in there. Kane has to be in there. Triple H has to be in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it also depends on the Rumble as well, who they bring back for that. Because
Yeah.
Well, if you Jake
I
the
remember
Snake,
one
Jericho.
Yeah.
you
I
I
know,
mean, last
if you Jake the
year,
Snake Roberts, you're thinking you keep saying put me in the Rumble.
yeah.
Well, he wants to make this big comeback. Suppose he's beat his whole drug addiction deal and that. And
like,
I don't want to see a 40, 60-year-old Jake Roberts though in a Rumble.
Yeah.
well,
if
we've already seen Hacksaw Jim Duggan before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they haven't. I mean, last year, other than Chris Jericho being the shocking comeback, then you just had the Godfather. And that was it.
And
All
he
the
was
rest is
pretty.
just a
He was
bunch
pretty
of
damn fast too.
Yeah.
Well, he always is. He just comes out with his hose and then he goes in. And,
Well, he's also not in the best shape either.
No.
I mean, he can't
Yeah.
be in a match for.
but
a
I mean,
moment.
I was like hoping for at least 2 more guys. They didn't have anybody. It was like, well, that stinks.
I mean, like I said, Rumble. If I got to pick a favorite right now, I mean, originally it was a 2 hours race between Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. I'm going CM Punk right now.
Yeah. That's who because he hasn't
Probably.
won one yet either.
No.
so
No,
that'll
exactly.
be another accolade. Yeah. So
And you'd think in his career he want to win at least one.
yeah,
And just the-
and
and just
main
the
event
fact-
of WrestleMania.
Yeah,
too.
and just the fact that they said, just the fact that I feel like Orton's in the driver's seat to be the champion going in, and that just seems like that's his main opponent.
Yeah.
And if that's the main opponent, and just the fact that Punk's been calling out the authority now, like for the first time, he's actually acknowledging that this is just a whole screwed
Yeah.
up. Like
And yeah,
it
He
just
said
feels
that
like
before, though. Nothing new.
I know him.
He said that with even John Laurinaitis.
Yeah,
This is just all screwed up. You're
Yeah.
an idiot.
Yeah.
yeah, but I think him facing Orton, the handpicked guy, would make sense.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, it goes better than what their 27 match was, where it was Orton came out on top in that. But
yeah,
no, I mean I agree with you. I think that should close the show, and if it does, that's
yeah.
quote unquote CM Punk's first time
Yeah.
closing a WrestleMania.
Well,
Maybe it's only time you think about it.
I mean, that's all going to depend, though, upon whether Randy Orton wins the 2 championships at TLC or whether he doesn't. Or whether they go with the screwy finish anyways.
I mean, honestly,
Because let's face it, we can say all we want,
Mhm.
but Vince is Vince. He's a 70-something-year-old guy, and it's what Vince wants.
he also likes to screw up. He also likes to mess with the internet community sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is stupid because
Definitely.
everybody uses the internet now. You can't just label
Yeah.
an extreme fan base as the internet fan base
Yeah.
because everybody uses the internet.
Oh, it's such a minority.
Minority, yeah.
Come on. That's like 10% of the entire WWE fan
back
base.
in the 90s, you could make that argument
Yeah.
Argument.
I
with AOL and stuff like that.
Dial up.
Yeah,
barely watch Raw live. I usually watch it online anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Or on YouTube if you miss it or something like that.
How many people here probably legally download streams to the pay-per-views too?
Yeah.
The internet,
All the
yeah,
time.
an extreme minority, yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's laughable now.
Yeah.
No, but my guess, Corey, is Orton wins. Cena has a rematch because he has he's gonna have a rematch
Yeah.
clause.
Yeah. Well,
So rematch in
Royal
Royal Rumble.
the major pay. Yeah.
Orton has to survive an elimination chamber match. So something tells you to make it fair. He's got like 2 allies in there whose sole goal
Yeah.
is to protect Orton.
Yeah.
And
Maybe members of the Shield.
then, like I
and
said,
all
WrestleMania he faces Punk.
that. Yeah.
Again, sounds all good and interesting, and I've heard
might
you say
be-
some good and interesting
yeah.
predictions before. But I've also known
I called Daniel Bryan winning.
I've also seen that the WWE has gone completely opposite of where you have thought.
At times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my guess is right now it's up in the air until TLC.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
Orton wins it, it most likely will head closer to your route. If Cena wins it, we don't know where the hell they're going with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question. If Cena wins it, since he retained his belt and got a new belt, is he become a 15-time champion or is it still a 14-time champion?
I don't know. I guess.
Because tell he retained his belt too.
Guess we'll see what they want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see this logic here.
He's
Yeah.
a 14 and a half time champion.
Yeah.
And if he's a 15-time champion, you know what I mean? It's 1 win away from tying Ric Flair technically.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You know, he's a 21-time world champion, but we're not going to count some of those
Right.
small ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and as far as Punk, if he would main event WrestleMania, I think that would be good because I think Punk's at his best when he's like either
Yeah.
feuding with authority,
Mm-hmm.
whether he's a face or a heel, or if he's like shooting on John Cena and stuff.
As crazy as it sounds,
yeah.
I mean, crazy sounds. I think Triple H is gonna beat whoever he beats, just because I think they want. So he has this love of a heel authority now.
Yeah.
And this love, the only you can counter a heel authority is a babyface, champion.
Yeah.
And let's face it, I would have copied let's face it, I would have copied the corporation angle anyway. Over there, let's copy Vince McMahon versus pretty much Steve Austin with Triple H versus CM Punk, essentially.
I mean, the way to really push that match would be to have Steve Austin be special
guest referee. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Talk about the big time anti-establishment guy. Come on in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, he could be the referee, and Orton would probably, you could have Orton could also bitch and say, the only reason why Punk won is because Austin's his buddy and he cheated to win, and that was clearly a fast count.
Yeah.
I mean, but they could also use Stone Cold for the whole Triple H versus McMahon's boy.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Honestly, I'm hoping Stone Cold would make an appearance because I haven't seen him in forever, and I know all the fans would love it.
Yeah.
And especially if he makes an appearance at Mania, that would help their sales.
It's also the 30th anniversary.
That is up to Austin to decide. It's not up.
The ball's always been in his court.
Yeah. So. If not, then WWE's got to do what they got to do
to promote
it.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Maybe they'll sign Hulk Hogan and he'll special guest referee that match.
Yes.
Vince, I hate you and I hate your son-in-law, but I'm going to special guest referee this match.
Oh my god! It sounds like when Roddy Piper showed up at WrestleMania 19 for the Hogan and Vince match. I remember Jim Ross. He hates both people. Who's he gonna screw? And he ends up screwing Hulk Hogan because, as he pointed there, he hated Hogan more than Vince, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that'll wrap things up for this
special edition.
There might be more of these Thanksgiving week edition.
Yeah, there might be more of these special ones because
coming up in the holidays.
Since school is almost over the semester for us. So.
Yeah, semester. So coming up, we got a break then in a few weeks. So yeah. And it'll be, by that time, TLC will be like right there.
I mean, essentially, they say to be fair, they essentially say the Royal Rumble was the road to WrestleMania. I officially think the Royal WrestleMania has officially begun.
Yeah, now
TLC's only 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
I mean, after that, it's just like I said, 3 pay-per-views, and then
with WrestleMania right around the corner, we might even do some special videos because I have a couple of WrestleManias that we can commentate on.
Audio commentary, we can do that.
Yeah. I got 7 WrestleManias.
That's
from 20 to 29.
Yep.
And we can give you your input.
Yes, we can watch and do some audio commentary. I actually thought about doing that, maybe.
Yes,
Stay tuned for that.
That would be awesome, especially since we are going to be officially on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, so that's true.
So stay tuned, fans out there. Yep. All of you are.
We have 19 subscribers last time I checked.
Yeah.
All 19 of you.
Let's
go for 20.
Some videos get,
but I think you're one of them, Corey, so that's 18 then.
Yeah.
Okay, go for 2 more.
Yeah. So, thanks. That'll wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in as always.